Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Frank Film Club for the last time this series. Where?
So sad.
So sad. It's been a blast. I've really enjoyed this series, and I hope that all of you watching, listening, interacting with us on socials, which we've had so much more of this series, I hope that you've all enjoyed it as well, and we're excited to come back soon. Keep an eye on our social media, and we'll have updates on there. But for the last episode, we thought we'd go out with a bang, like we always do, and do a classic. So we gave you 3 options. We gave you The Parent Trap, we gave you Bring It On, and we gave you Spice World.
Of course.
Did you 3, I'm including the 3, did you 2 vote on?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you vote?
Spice World.
So did I.
So did I.
Oh.
And we still didn't even sway the ballot.
No, well, that just goes to show how many people voted.
Yeah.
That they outnumbered us.
They did.
More than 3 people voted. That's great.
We didn't actually discuss this before we voted, so that's really interesting that we all picked the same thing.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do it at some point.
Next series.
But it's nice to know that the audience is ending on something that they want.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would have loved it if we did Spice World, but I'm glad that people are excited for The Parent Trap, because I love that movie. This movie too.
I feel like everyone's seen it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And if you haven't, what are you doing? And I'm glad also because I've revisited it and I really loved it. So, if you don't know, The Parent Trap is about identical twins, Hallie and Annie, who were separated after their parents' divorce. Years later, they discover each other at a summer camp and decide to switch places in an effort to reunite their parents. Directed by Nancy Meyers, starring the incredible Lindsay Lohan as an 11-year-old set of twins. Dennis Quaid, Natasha Richardson, Elaine Hendricks, Lisa Ann Walter, Simon Coons. You can watch it on Disney+. Stay tuned this episode. We're going to be diving into lots of stuff. I really want to speak about the casting of Lindsay Lohan and what she brings to this film, and just her incredible dual performance in this. The making of it and how they managed performance hours, which obviously is insane. And a few little tidbits like Parent Trap 2.
What?
Yes. And some weird coincidences that I found about some of the cast and crew after they filmed this film.
Amazing.
Ooh. But before we start, how are you both doing?
Really, really good. Summer's here. I've been in the garden, just doing some wildflower planting, which has been amazing. They're all sprouting, my wildflowers, and it's heaven out there. I really want bluebells, but you can't have bluebells where they don't naturally grow.
Right.
Did you know bluebells are a sign of ancient woodland?
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool because there's loads of bluebells grow in my parents' garden at home.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're kidding. Well, ancient lands, untouched.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's well cool.
And I would love to have a garden like that. I'd love to have a bit of that, but you can't if it's, so I thought, well, if I can't have bluebells, then I'll have other wildflowers that I can plant and reseed. And so I've been doing a bit of that.
Lush.
Lovely.
Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Work has been busy, but I was so excited to watch this because it was like a fresh, amazing, gorgeous thing to get to go and see of an evening after like a bit of a hectic work day. So yeah, things are good. Yeah.
Thanks to The Parent Trap.
Yeah.
Thanks to Lindsay Lohan. Both
Definitely.
Lindsay Lohans.
Definitely. I was going to mention this actually. I've had a really stressful week and just trying to juggle loads of things. And yesterday I was like, do I need to rewatch this film really? Like, can't I do another 2 hours of work because I need those 2 hours? And I'm so glad that I didn't sit there with my laptop and that I took a minute out to watch this film. And I did it in the middle of the workday. I had to because we had night stuff going on. Anyway, it really gave me a moment to like zoom out and connect into younger self, thinking I actually work on films now. Yes, they're not the size of Parent Trap, but younger me who loved this film so much and it brought back so much nostalgia for watching this and rewatching it. I'm really glad that I took that moment to just feel really heartwarmed by the film again.
Yeah. No, I had exactly the same thing. I like put my phone on Do Not Disturb as well so that I was like, I didn't want to have any distractions. And I'm so glad that I did because it was so nostalgic and gorgeous.
Can you remember watching this when you were younger? Like, do you have any memories of it?
Yeah, it's hard to know, like, when I first watched it. I don't know if I would be able to remember, but I'm sure it was, like, maybe even just, like, on Film 4 or something at some point. And, yeah, sat down and watched it. But I think I watched it after I'd seen the likes of, like, Freaky Friday, or... I definitely didn't watch this, like, when it first came out. This was something that I came to, like... after I had caught the Lindsay Lohan bug, and remember being like, is that two Lindsay Lohans? Yeah, and having that whole like realization. But just loved how this movie is about love, basically. I mean, I guess it was pretty formative for me, and who I've become. But yeah, I feel like that was kind of I came to it like later than other Lindsay Lohan classics. What about you?
Yeah, I watched this since I was quite young. So this was my first Lindsay Lohan.
Was it her first movie? No.
Well, it does say introducing.
Yeah,
so
I
I
do some credit. I know.
So cool. That's crazy,
Isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, I remember watching it quite young. Like always watching it with my sister, and it always reminded me Lindsay Lohan's accent. When I remember watching it back then, and her English accent, which is like Southern English. Ish. Sometimes. We had a family friend who lives in Southern England, and we were always like, oh my God, it's so cool. It's like it's Tiffany. And I just always thought that character was so cool. But now rewatching it, well, I'll let you, I want to know about your first watching though first. What was your...
Well, I think I would have been young. Yeah, I would have been younger than Lindsay Lohan when this came out, but I was quite similar. I don't know. I think I might have been 9 or 8 or something. I cannot tell you how many times I rewatched this film. This was like the one that I rewatched all over. Like I remember watching it at sleepovers. I remember like knowing every single line, and it's funny how they all come back to you when you watch stuff like this, like 12 years later. Because we did the Letterboxd thing, and this was my number 1.
Yeah,
I mean, I said it first.
Yeah,
it's not my number 1. But yeah, it's the film that I've rewatched the most.
It's amazing.
So much so that I watched the original. Have you seen the original? 1961.
No,
I haven't. But I only saw about it when I was rewatching it this time. Oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, there's another one. There's an original. No idea. It's actually mad how amazing Lindsay Lohan is in this, because like not only is she just like amazing at playing both of these two twins, and they're like two very different personalities, but she also smashes it every time. She's like playing the other. She's having to play a character playing a character, and you can see that as well.
Yeah.
Like it works. Like it's not just like she's playing that character each time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And we're like, this is really complex, and she's so good at it.
I feel like people would like a less good actor would like not capitalize on all of the opportunities that she does to like show that she's being one of the characters. She just be in the same clothes again and be like, okay, well now I'm gonna do.
I'm that one.
Yeah. But that's what makes it so entertaining, because the whole time you're like in on this little secret with her in both worlds, and that's what kind of like gets you through. And yeah, she's really, really amazing. I mean, it's no wonder she became like the biggest star. Off the back of this.
It's mad. Because how old was she when
She was 11.
She was 11.
Playing 11. But I don't know how much of it was, we're talking about like her jumping through the characters. It feels so like light on its feet, but it must all be scripted, and she would have had to like remember which part she obviously.
Oh yeah, great director, I'm sure. Like to help steer that, definitely. But like the fact that she is capable of portraying that without it feeling like disjointed and strange. Like she's an incredible actress, and like shines amongst people who are like really seasoned in this movie.
Yeah.
So
they saw a lot of actors for this, obviously.
Really?
Yeah. For the role of Hallie and Annie. In the original
Can I ask a question first?
Yes.
Did they ever consider just casting twins? Or was it always going to be one person?
Well, in the original, the 1961 film, that is one actor as well. So,
Oh, right.
yeah. So they did that in the first one. It was always going to be one actor.
Okay.
And they did a nationwide search. They went around all the states, or a lot of the states, and auditioned loads of girls, auditioned people that we know. So Scarlett Johansson was seen for this. Who else? Misha Barton was seen. Mara Wilson, Matilda.
Oh, no way.
my God.
Yeah.
This is mad.
Mad.
It's mad.
And then they actually offered Jenna Malone, Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Offered her the role.
And
She turned it down. And I've seen a few things online that she turned it down 3 times. I don't know whether
Why?
she auditioned and then turned it down, or if they went after her because they'd seen her in something when she was younger and she just kept turning it down. I don't know why she turned it down. Oh my God. I know.
What, age 11, keep on turning something down?
yeah.
Like,
It would have been maybe parent influence.
oh, yeah.
Not
Yeah.
into something.
Yeah.
Because maybe
Wow.
would you, I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd take this role now.
Yeah,
I'll play 11.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, let's do The Parent Trap 3.
Wow, I had no idea. This is great.
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
wild.
Okay.
So Lindsay Lohan came into it. So as you noticed, introducing Lindsay Lohan credit.
Yeah.
She was in a short film before this, and she also was in a TV show. But I think very, very briefly.
Yeah.
Obviously not to the extent that you would expect for somebody to give a performance like this.
Yeah. Sorry, can we just go back? Like, it is. Hollywood is so quick to cast twins as one person so that they can like get more hours and like switch them in and out. And then it comes to a movie like this, and they're just like, you know what? Can't bear to look at the twins. Let's get one girl in to play both. Like, I know they have to look identical, but like that's what they get 2 people to play one person, and now they get 1 person to play 2 people. It's just like, why are we doing that?
Like,
I mean,
why did they do that to themselves?
yeah.
That's so...
Are we not making it more complicated?
Definitely. I just don't really understand that logic, but okay.
It works.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
What's better than 1 Lindsay Lohan?
2 Lindsay Lohan. I don't know whether they did look... from everything that I've read and researched, they wanted to find one girl. And I don't know the reason why. I did see something that they wanted to keep to the tradition of the original, and maybe it's something to do with the fact that obviously you can get identical twins, but you can tell them apart.
Yeah, so it would have been too obvious if everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know that was you.
Because it does add to it. It adds to the viewing experience when you know that they're both the same person, because it's so fun to try and spot the characteristics of the other one.
That is true.
And to watch them, it's like the legend of it all, watching Tom Hardy be both brothers. Like, it's just, it makes it more fun because you're just like, can't wait to see how they're going to chameleon. It does just make it more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw something online that was like, why didn't they just cast the Olsen twins? Because they were around during
yeah,
this
that was
time.
that
You're so
time.
right.
But I think Lindsay Lohan's performance,
Well, yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. Yeah, so glad that they did because it's amazing. And
Yeah.
as I say, I do think it enhances it, but it's just hilarious.
It
that
is
they
hilarious.
continually do that.
It sounds like hell.
Yeah,
Like
a
hell.
producing nightmare.
Absolutely. So, any guesses then on how long it took to shoot?
Must have, like, surely double anything normal. And it's
Yeah.
quite a long film.
Yeah.
2 hours, 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's longer, especially...
Okay, so like it's a big studio movie of the time. So I imagine, I don't know, like 45 days, but then we have the Lindsay Lohan double
Double it.
thing of it all. Would you double it?
70.
70 days?
Not quite double.
No, because
Is that
70
just
days, is that
ridiculous?
not crazy?
But like, so she's 11. What are like the child parameters then?
Like 5 hours?
Yeah, 5 hours. And then every like hour you have to have a 15-minute break. And then
It might have been different.
from
then.
when
Yeah,
you get
maybe.
called to when you end, it can only be like 9 hours or something.
I wonder how strict it was then. True. Like maybe you could just do more hours. Go on, give us the answer.
We're
Well,
gasping.
I wish that I worked it out in days because I just saw online that it was just under 6 months.
120 days.
Is that
120
right?
days.
120 days. And I was saying like double 45, which is like 90. 120.
120 days. But another film which had a similar amount of shoot days was Home Alone.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's in every scene. But wait, this obviously would have been, if that was that much, I know that Home Alone, maybe it was Home Alone 2, was just over 100 days to shoot. But with this one, you've obviously got that they need to retake the same scene twice. So actually, that's pretty good that they did it in that amount
I
of time.
suppose there's a lot of scenes in Parent Trap that also don't have Lindsay Lohan, whereas in Home Alone, it's like pretty much entirely him, apart from the start and the end.
Yeah, definitely.
That's wild. That sounds expensive.
Very.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about casting. There was some other little, what do you call it? Some cameos, some appearances from Lindsay Lohan's family. So the little boy who's lost the camp, that's Lindsay Lohan's brother.
You're joking! Oh my god!
Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared. That's Lindsay Lohan's brother.
Oh my god!
And her family are in the background of some of the other scenes as well, as is the daughters of the director, Nancy Meyers.
Oh my
That's
god!
cool.
This is so amazing. I love this film. I feel like this film is made of magic in a way,
Yeah,
and
it is.
hearing all of this is just making me feel like it's just added to it all.
So, you know your mum would come on set with you?
Yeah.
Did they ever drag her on to camera?
No, but I feel like there would have been opportunity to, like, if it was something different. But so many people did have their friends and family come and be, like, in the background of bits and pieces. But it was just way more of a thing because you have to get fitted for costume. Like, you can't
Can't just slip in.
You're not just slipping in.
You might stand out slightly.
Yeah, exactly. And like, there's like a look, like facial hair, and so it's like it was. I feel like there was quite specific people that they were looking for on Game of Thrones, and it was like harder to just like slip in your friends and family type thing. But the opportunity definitely was there. I didn't really capitalize on it ever.
Damn.
But it would be my mum's worst nightmare. To do.
I was going to say, would she have
worst
even
nightmare.
liked it?
No, I think she would have hated it. Now I feel like if she was with a friend coming on to do our movie,
yeah.
like, I could imagine her like, because
Yeah.
I think she's got some friends in the village that she lives in that go and do it every now and then, like when people are filming around like the Southwest. So I feel like, but yeah, at the time I think it was just like her idea of hell.
Well, I don't know. I was telling Larry when we first arrived today, I've got Daisy a little role.
Already?
First role.
She's nepoing her.
Oh my
already.
God, what's she doing?
It's actually not my fault. So it's similar situation to this. I was going down for a set visit and they said, do you want to just bring Daisy and she can be in one of the shots? Because it's like a portrait shot of like the community, and it's like different portraits of the different people in the community, and they were like, they want to get a baby in there. They asked me to do it as well, and I was like, absolutely not. So some random is just going to be
give my
passed
child
to my
away.
baby.
That's perfect. Her first role.
Her first ever role.
Oh, well, break a leg, Daisy.
Break a leg, honey girl. So I love the family affair.
Yeah.
And another thing on this, the girls in the original Parent Trap, they weren't called Hallie and Annie, they were called something else. And Hallie and Annie were her daughters, Nancy Meyers, the director's daughter's name.
Because at the end it said for Hallie.
Yeah, and I don't know why she didn't say that for Annie.
Yeah, that's a bit tight.
Yeah.
Or is Hallie okay?
Justice for
Or like,
Annie.
yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you're right.
Well, it did make me think.
It's like those like short poems.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like,
suddenly out. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's so many answers.
Yeah. Yeah, it did worry me.
Well, they're
We're
both
desperate to
okay.
know.
Oh, they are?
They're both okay.
Thank God, but maybe Annie's not
Yeah,
because
maybe
she got
Annie's
left
not,
off
poor
the
girl.
credits.
Yeah, she's estranged.
I don't know. I tried to find out online, but there's no.
Has Nancy done other films? One for
Maybe
Annie?
there's another one for Annie.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, let's go
What
ahead and
has
say
Nancy
that.
done? Do you know much
Okay,
about?
well, she is fabulous. So she made this with, this is her directorial debut.
No way.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Isn't that
I
mad?
can't believe it. Imagine like Lindsay Lohan, they're all like making a movie, like newbies. What?
Wild.
It's like the most iconic movie.
She was
is
prolific though as a producer. So she used to be she still produces, I believe, but she used to co-produce with her husband, Charles Shire. And
Did he produce that?
And he produced this.
There we go.
And she directed.
Yeah.
But then she went on to direct What Women Want, Something's Gotta Give, and The Holiday.
Oh, of course.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, she like does love loves a rewatchable.
Yeah.
Yeah, smash. Yeah, she's like does classics.
She's a classic maker.
Oh, that's
God,
cool.
That is cool.
And I don't think it's true anymore, but for a really long time, she was the female director who had directed the highest grossing film.
That's so
And
cool.
not for Parent Trap, actually, for What Women Want.
yeah. Wow.
Mad.
She's a boss. Okay, so we know how long it took to make and its inception. Can you guess how they shot the scenes?
Well, I imagine that there's another girl out there who played both girls as well and had a really gorgeous wig and was shot just from the back of her head. How is she doing these days? Because she effectively, she did the whole thing too. And she would have to be really good because I do think a lot of acting is also about who you're working with. And you have to have a good back and forth. And maybe she didn't have to be 11. Maybe she could have been a couple of years older, but just, crouched down or something. But yeah, I mean, there's a girl out there who did everything that Lindsay Lohan did and didn't get any
Of the credit.
Yeah, what's the guy that was like the second guy who went on the moon?
Who knows?
Well, exactly. Don't know his name.
Poor guy. I think he went a bit mad too.
Oh.
Poor thing. Yeah,
I want to see that film.
yeah.
I would love it if you now say that it was actually.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. No.
It wasn't.
Jenna Malone.
But her name is Erin Mackey, and she did really well. She was on Broadway for a few things, so she did really well, and I think she continues to do really well. But you're exactly right. Similar age when they were shooting, and obviously they would then split screen.
Yeah, stitch two shots together.
Exactly. So if you watch the film and you're looking out for it, you will notice that there's always like a door frame or something in the middle just to like hide that stitch together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. So cool.
A technique that they do all the time now.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Yeah, it was quite seamlessly done.
Well, it's all shot on film, so yeah.
And then for the dialogue, so they recorded Lindsay delivering Annie or Hallie, and then she had an earpiece
Oh, right.
so that she would always be in the right rhythm so that the back and forth made
Yeah.
sense rather than it being with another actor.
That's really cool because especially the scene when it's both of them, Annie and Hallie, and they're trying to fool the parents so that they have to keep them together. The rhythm of that whole scene, that back and forth between Lindsay Lohan and Lindsay Lohan, was so good. So that would make sense that it was her in her own ear.
Yeah, but she's like jumping back and forth between accents.
It's insane.
Well, if she's not, but like if she
No,
was,
but she was there.
like, yeah.
Like, but intentionally, but like that's a lot to comprehend
Yeah.
and be like, wait, now, yeah.
And so when would they do that? Would they do that at the start of the day? Be like, okay, let's find the rhythm of the scene now, because you're kind of locked into it then.
That is very true. I don't know whether
God.
they decide. I don't know. It'd be speculation. I have no idea.
She's got great chemistry with every actress, but she's got the best chemistry
With
herself. But a lot of actors do that for their self-tapes. They don't get other... You must notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is how my friend... Yeah, I have friends who will do it. If they're taping for an American character, they'll do the other character in an English accent, but themselves and record it into their microphone. And if they're recording for an English character, they'll do the other one... They do they're making the Parent Trap in their bedroom.
They're
for a
making it
self-tape.
in their bedroom, but you know what? I very rarely does it work.
No, yeah.
So the fact that she's doing this at the age 11, she's got all the pressure of being on that big set with all these amazing actors, and she's got an earpiece. Like she's not even.
in front of like talking to someone.
It is crazy.
Yeah, she's
it is.
amazing.
I just want to see what her next project was, because I feel like Lindsay Lohan did Parent Trap and then all of a sudden she was a teenager.
Yeah, that's
true.
what I think. Yeah.
Okay, she did. No.
What?
You're joking.
Hang on. She did Parent Trap in 1998 and then Freaky Friday was 4 years later.
What?
5 years later.
She is like a teenager in that. She's younger than like
Yeah, that's true.
you know, Confessions and Mean Girls.
Yeah.
But she doesn't look 4 years older than this. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm getting that right, aren't I? 1998, 2003, that's 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn.
Unless Parent Trap took a while to edit. I'm guessing this is like release dates. Maybe
Yes.
Parent Trap took a while to
Right.
like get it all together.
So
'cause
she
it's got
shot
like,
it in, 96,
maybe there was like a
97.
few extra years there.
Yeah, they were trimming.
Maybe.
Trimming.
Trimming the fat.
Or sticking it together.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mad.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought, speaking of ages, Meredith Blake.
By the time this episode comes out, I'm going to be older than Meredith Blake.
And what are you saying about that then? Do you think she's older?
No, when I was younger and she was like,
I
she's
see.
26, I was like, wow, she's grown up. And now I'm like, she's 26?
Yeah.
How am I older than Meredith Blake already? I mean, she doesn't look it.
No, she does. I thought when I watched it this time, I was like, wait, so I'm older than Meredith Blake. But I'm like, she looks like so much more grown up than me. But I don't know if that's just because I don't wear amazing clothes and she just like looks absolutely fabulous.
How old do you think she was when she was shooting this? Because even
28? 30?
Okay.
Yeah. 29.
She was 26.
No, she wasn't.
I didn't look. I think,
get over
maybe it is just because she's so well put together.
Yeah.
That I think of me at 26 and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a shame.
I know. She just looks absolutely like spectacular. I feel like whenever I've watched Love Island, sorry to take this over to Love Island, but like the people on there who I know are like my age but probably younger,
yeah.
they just look
Like grown-ups.
like grown-ups, like how I imagine a grown-up to be in their 20s. And then I look at myself and I'm like, wait, what am I? Because I'm definitely not a teenager, but I don't think I look old. It's just like a different,
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly. It's not even saying like they look old. Like they don't look old in the way
No.
that we use that word. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just like a put togetherness that I'm just
Yeah.
like, when does that come in my life? When am I going to be put together?
I feel
like
like I'm
that?
just going to jump to old.
I'm in the future and honestly that happens.
Yeah, I feel like the more that we just like sit at home, make fires and like have a glass of wine by the TV, I feel like we're just like timing ourselves out of this part of womanhood.
Yes.
It's fine.
It's
I'm up for
fine.
that.
Damn, Meredith
Yeah.
Blake.
Yeah.
Well, I wondered what you thought of Meredith Blake's character and the evil stepmother trope, which hilariously, obviously now I am a stepmother. And when
You are.
I am. What'd she say? That's so cute. You're going to adopt her.
I thought that was so good.
So good.
Yeah.
But what do you? Is there anything about the relationships in this film now that like feel a little bit different rewatching it as an older person?
Yeah, I did. As much as I'm still like on Hallie and Annie's side, and because Meredith Blake is so awful in this
Awful.
film, I was also like, I now could look at it in the way where I was like, oh, that's actually really shit for this couple though, that they've got this young daughter who's like not going to stop until they break up. So yeah, I saw it from that perspective like a tiny bit, but they just make Meredith so bad that you can't really go too far that way.
No, exactly. I would have loved if when me and Warren were getting together, if Lods had like played loads of pranks on me. I actually would have loved it, but she just sent me cute Instagram messages and it was lovely. So that's a shame.
Oh, divine.
Yeah, I feel like in another version of this film, like Meredith would be a little bit more palatable, but like it's nice that it's just all from the girl's perspective, you know. But yeah, she's just a bit of a nightmare, really.
Yeah.
Looks fit though.
Looks absolutely fab.
So fair.
Yeah.
Well, there was an extended ending of The Parent Trap.
Ooh.
Nothing too saucy, juicy, but what do you think happens afterwards?
I don't want to know because I feel like it's probably a train wreck, like not good. Because is that a sustainable relationship? I think the mum, what's the mum's character name?
Liz?
Oh yeah, Elizabeth, Lizzie. I feel like Lizzie, the mum, was right the whole time when she's been like, we can't let ourselves fall in love because it's just not going to work out. We live in a separate continents. So as much as when it finishes as it does in this version, and it's like, this will be an everlasting love, I'm like, just don't think about what's going to happen next, because it's not going to end well. She's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe it just goes to shit.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like it's a fictional story, and I feel like
We don't need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the alternate ending is not that it ends in disrepair, then I don't think it's like accurate. But this movie is like, so it's such a like projection of like a fairy tale that maybe you see them and I don't know, they're like, yeah.
Well, it's not, it doesn't like give an answer in any way, but it's them saying, so where are we going to live? London, California? And they're like, no, London, California. And that's it.
Oh God.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's the beginning of
Basically,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, that's kind of heartbreaking. I'm just going to delete the knowledge of that.
They just deleted it.
I just think so horrendous that they brought these two girls up and didn't tell them that they had sisters.
Well, the trauma of it all.
Yeah, I mean, like, did you watch that documentary, Three Identical Strangers?
Yeah. Well, it's a bit like that.
It is.
Also, but like rogue of the mum to send her daughter from London to wherever it was in
Summer
America
camp
for a summer
in
camp.
the
So
US.
random. Do you want this to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny.
Quite random. But I am obsessed with the mum character.
Me too.
Yeah.
Who would you wanted to have lived with?
I'm sorry, but like the fashion show is just, it's so funny.
The
There's-
hat. With the veil.
I remember thinking that was so cool when I was younger.
I know, like the peak of fashion, I was like, I'm going to be a bride like that. And I've watched it now, I was just like, oh my God, it's horrendous. It's horrendous.
So all those dresses were Vera Wang dresses.
Sorry, Vera Wang. Oh,
Not
so
the hat
funny.
veil
Not the
combo,
hat.
though.
Yeah, God, who styled that?
That was
Horrendous.
funny. And also the scene where Lizzie is like freaking out because she's gonna go see this guy that she like fancied so much and had two babies with years and years ago, and she just like is like smoking and she's like got the rollers in her head. She's like, Martin, what am I gonna wear? I just thought that whole scene, like that whole sequence, was just like perfect. I was like, yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
This was quite an outlier in that kind of movie, Disney-esque mother depiction.
Yeah.
That she gets deliberately drunk and that she smokes ciggies.
Yeah.
And we don't normally see that from other characters around this time.
Yeah, I love it. She's like such a role model. She's an icon.
Yeah, it was cool, especially because throughout she's like she's also really well put together, and then to see her like let loose a little bit,
Falling apart.
or like see her like have these anxieties, I was like, yeah, that's so true.
Yeah,
that would
real.
be terrifying.
Love it.
That was good.
So do you have any standout moments? Any faves?
Yes, I love it when they pierce her ear. My sister used to always pierce her ears and her friends' ears, and I just know that she did that from like watching this movie. I don't know if they did it exactly the same, but they definitely did the eyes. But yeah, like the apple and like things like that. I just like, I don't know. It's such a rebellious thing to do when you're a kid.
Yeah.
It's such a summer camp thing. I love them in the camp, like in the summer camp, like so much.
Yeah.
I love all the rest of it too, but I did realise on rewatching it this time that is the best part for me.
Yeah,
Even
definitely.
though everything else is like brilliant.
Yeah.
I just like, even when they're fencing each other and they take their things off for the first time, it's like, yeah, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
I think the pacing of this film is so satisfying, though. Every chapter is really, really interesting, but the way that they introduce the characters in the first part is just brilliant.
Yeah, I forgot that she rocks up in a limo. Like, it's so brilliant.
The handshake.
I know, the handshake is so good. I've always wanted to have a cool handshake.
Yeah.
I've tried to come up with handshakes with friends of mine in the past. I've only got one that it's ever stuck with, but it came from this movie. Having a secret handshake is so cool.
It's so
cool.
And teaching each other, like, so you walk into the house and this is where we always
like
eat
the
there for dinner. Yeah, oh my, because it's just like, of course, that's what you'd have to do if you're going to pull off this heist.
Yeah.
It's so good.
There's not a loophole left unthreaded.
Yeah, they're clever girls.
They are.
Yeah. I just couldn't get over on this watching actually, like how minted both of the families are.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
their houses are so bougie, and I feel like when I was younger, I was just like, oh, so nice, and now I'm like, oh my god.
Now we
could
know how
dream
much
like
things
it.
cost.
Yeah, yeah.
They're opulent.
yeah, it could have been a very different film if it was like
Maybe-
get to London and it's like grim. Yeah.
Maybe we should make like a 2024 version of this where we actually deep dive into the trauma, the childhood trauma that this creates, and
Yeah.
you know, socioeconomic backgrounds and how that can.
Right,
I wanna
the
see that
three
film.
perfect, three identical strangers of it all.
the
Yeah.
version of this.
Yeah, the version where they realise what their parents have done and are just so horrified and they never
Yeah.
go back to either of them and they just like stick together and they think our parents have killed, like destroyed our lives. We'll never
Speak to them again.
Yeah, never speak to either of them ever again.
That does sound like a good film.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Yes.
should write that after.
So Nancy Meyers, the director, she was writing and directing a film for Netflix, but it fell through recently, which is a shame.
Oh,
Big shame.
She's writing at the moment, I saw on IMDb, she's writing a royal wedding comedy, which is a romantic comedy centered on an American girl who was engaged to a prince.
Oh, that sounds like the Prince and Me.
Love that film.
Yeah, I love that film.
Oh my god, I might rewatch that soon.
Yeah, should we
The
do
Dress.
it? We could
Yeah,
do it on
we
this
should.
next
All right.
series. Love that movie. I love that
Have you seen it?
Come back next series for The Prince and Me.
good. That sounds
Haven't seen
great.
Um,
can't
Lindsay
wait.
Lohan is obviously back on our screens, which we're very happy about.
Oh, yeah.
She's in a film called Irish Wish, which is on Netflix. Have you seen it?
Doesn't it have no Irish people in it?
Well, this is what I saw a lot of people tweet saying it doesn't. But then I went on the IMDb and it does have a British casting director. She actually cast Boiling Point, the film.
Oh right.
So I would think that she would cast Irish people at least somewhere in the film.
I've heard good things about this. Someone actually recommended that we talk about it on here. So all for the next season. Ooh.
Yeah.
Any guesses on the budget?
Well, I would have said, like, I don't know, around the 40, like 50 mark. But now you're saying that it was like first time filmmaker and they like redid the casting process. Like it wasn't like Lindsay Lohan was a big star and it was, you know what I mean? So now I'm thinking that it would have been a lot less. What did we just do? Jennifer's Body. I mean, and that was obviously 10 years later still. And that was like 16. I don't know, yeah, like 16, 19.
Okay.
I feel like it must be more. If they were shooting for like 6 months, they're employing people for 6
You're
months.
right.
Although we're like at what rate? I don't know because like you say,
Because this is the 90s.
I'm going to try higher. I'm going to go for 40.
Okay.
Maybe it's even more. I don't know.
Hard to know.
50.
Okay. 15.
Oh my God. I
know.
That's very low for that much
So low.
time. Wow.
And
Lilo.
it took 92 million.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, excellent.
It made her a star.
And that's before even like DVD
Yeah,
or
exactly.
video. Oh, that was more like VHS, wasn't it?
Is this a Disney film? I should probably know.
I think Disney. I think it was.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I saw
I remember it come on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, when this opened in the box office, and this just goes to show like the competition and what cinema used to be. This came third on opening weekend
Whoa.
to Rush Hour. Did you see Rush Hour?
Never.
No.
That was splashy at the time, and Mask of Zorro.
Which I have seen. No way. Okay, that's mad.
Yeah.
Although I did like that film.
Lots of competition back in the day.
Yeah.
So Letterboxd, okay. Bear with, because this is a long one. Lucy gave it 4.5 stars. Here we go. These asshole parents really snapped and
I love the attitude in the voice.
these asshole parents really snapped and looked right at their newborn babies and said, okay, that's it. You take a twin, I'll take a twin, we'll never speak again. Our daughters will just have to live without their twin sister and one of their parents who shall not even known to be in their existence. Lucy, don't understand that sentence.
Yeah.
It's a very rational plan and not evil in the slightest. The double Lindsay Lohans probably had the fattest therapy pills because of them.
So true.
True.
That's hilarious.
That's so good.
It's true. It's yeah, we just glaze over the ethical nightmare.
like
Like,
so beautiful.
yeah, let's get them and I'll go back to England and you can go there. Yeah.
Abby gave it 5 stars and said, my dad literally had the biggest smile on his face throughout the entire thing. And then afterwards, I asked him if he liked it, and he said no. What kind of fragile masculinity is that?
Not for me.
Not for me. Hated it.
That's so funny.
4.5 stars from Emma, who said, R.I.P. to Lindsay Lohan's dead British twin. Your legacy continues on to this day. Amen.
Oh, people
So
are brilliant.
good.
I love
Was
you
there a
all.
lot on there, even though it's quite an old movie?
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
That's great.
All glowing.
Yeah.
Really.
God, it's such a good film. I love it even more now.
Yeah.
I love it
I
even
do.
more now, hearing all of that about
Yeah.
the inception of this film.
Yeah, there's some things, some of the films that we watch that we like revisit that have been rewatchable ones that we've always watched since we were younger. You rewatch them and it kind of like tarnishes them a
Yeah.
bit. But for this one, it's just like really like it's just made me think like, oh God, no, I just absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's like it's even better. Like I've just got more, like had more joy watching it. It's so good. She's really talented, and I love that she did The Holiday. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Incredible.
thought you were talking about Lindsay Lohan then. I was like,
No.
oh yeah.
Another classic.
Such classics.
Such classic.
Well, any final thoughts on The Parent Trap?
I feel like this is going to have to. I haven't rewatched this since I was really, really young. But there's other ones that I rewatch quite regularly, and it's just boosted right back up to that for me. This is going to be like a Sunday afternoon when I'm feeling sick or like can't get sleep, whatever. Such a good film, and yeah, as I said, love it even more having heard more about the inception of it. They're just not making movies like this anymore. So good.
So good. I genuinely just want to make a film that that looks at this with a different view now. I think that's so funny.
Get writing, girls.
Yeah, it's like really gritty and like raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it could be like different stages of the twins' life. So like now in the lens of like this fairy tale, and then when they're teenagers and they're rebellious and what they start to think about it, and then when they're older and how it affects their relationships.
Yeah,
Chaptered.
exactly.
Wow, God,
Done.
look at you go.
I didn't even plan that. I just
There's no notes
Came
on this.
right out my head.
there we go. Okay, we'll do that then.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Cool.
And because it's the last episode of the series,
yeah.
any final thoughts on this series or anything that you really enjoyed?
It has been so much fun, this series. I've had the best time. And thank you for all of the picks that people have brought up for us. It's been brilliant. And all of the engagement, everyone who's been writing in, getting in touch, like so grateful. And I'm devastated that it's coming to an end. We will be back. We're going to be around all summer, actually. We're going to be doing events in person. So, yeah, keep an eye.
Yeah.
But, yeah, how are you feeling? Any final thoughts on the series?
Yeah, I just feel like we've had some absolute bangers. The audience picks, I reckon they should go back and have a listen because we speak so well.
We really do the films
quite
justice.
excellent. Yeah. No, it's been good.
It's been great.
Have you had a favourite episode?
I really love speaking about May, December because there's so much juice there from the real story.
Eternal Sunshine, of course. Great
That
chat.
was really great chat.
Another audience pick.
It's got to be Twilight.
Oh, Twilight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, take it. It was just so much fun. I haven't laughed that much in a long time. It was great.
So fun.
Going back and watching and talking about these films that we grew up with, I think has been the highlight of this season for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's always fun when we get to.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will still be around, so keep in touch with us. On socials and whatnot.
So you can follow us on social media. We are on TikTok and we're on Instagram at Frank Film Club. That's where you'll most likely catch up on where we're going to be over the summer. And you can email us on filmclub@rap.world.
This is the final episode of this series, but we have so many episodes for you to go back and watch. So make sure you click over to another series and listen to some of those, and we'll be back before you know it.
Yeah. And let us know your recommendations of films for the next season.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
This podcast was presented by Wrapped.